look at the whole of Argo, for me, they still take the cake in terms of that overall team feeling, right? Especially with Oskarish currently on the roster. I feel like he's going to be a cohesive element that's going to bring everything together, all of it together. And I really do hope to see some of that magic that Oskarish can definitely bring on the table. Now, of course, there's no denying the rest of Argo are well equipped and well prepared for a fight like this. The only question now on everybody's mind is who takes the first few rounds, who starts off better, and who's going to be the one to basically kick off this series with a bit of a bang. And I gotta say, that 21-25 overtime that Endpoint lost, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be looking for blood early on and really putting everything into the aggression.
Yeah, like yesterday, of course. It's a bit of a rematch here of that second game that we saw during the best of one matches. Like you said, it did go into double OT with 25 on the board for Ago taking that victory. I think that map was also on train as far as I could believe. So, again, there is a bit of a interesting one when we head into that second map there. But, of course, it's Endpoint that will be starting on that CT side this time here on Vertigo. Bomb site already to be masked by Ago, though, as they'll get that plant down very, very early. Good nade damage, though. Fiku down to 12. Furlan receiving a tag on the way through as well. Although, with that bomb down now, it does allow Ago to revert into after plants. It's a 5v5 site retake, something that we barely see on a map like this. But look on the mini-map, ladies and gentlemen. There is a big flank coming through right now from Groovy.
And, well, he needs to get in here fast.
Oh, the ninja.
To make sure this doesn't go too badly. And, they killed the diffuser. The timing of that was epic, basically, as Robin was less than, I believe, a second away of actually pulling off that diffuse through the bit of a ninja push. Yeah, I would love to see a replay if we could get that and see how little time was left on that press or on that diffuse. But Ago, they successfully infiltrate a site. The flank of Grubby secures the round pretty much to 110% degree. And, well, on top of things, Endpoint are gonna force up.
Yeah, liking that from Endpoint. They're gonna try and bring the challenge out towards Ago here. The Eagles, can be quite the pesky round to play against. So there is definitely that headshot potential. A couple of HGs in there as well to provide extra damage. But we shall see. Furlan already making his way up toward the back of the bomb site here. Smoke down to just alleviate a little bit of that pressure as Thomas will try and reposition in toward that first stack. Try and get maybe a headshot through the smoke. Ooh, nearly comes close there actually as he blazes a couple of shots through. Nades over the top, not in the right position unfortunately. And Furlan, he's able to punish that early entry. Bomb down a 5v4. Well, that should be closely coming out to fade, although Surreal and Crucial bagging a good couple of kills. Damage has already been done, though, and it will be Ago that will be able to ride the wave of the Force Buy round. It should be a nice 3-0 start for this one so far.
Yeah, Surreal, he's going to have to give up the chase, give up the round, unfortunately. And that will be a very, very good start for Argo. It gives them this, I don't want to say advantage, because it's not necessarily an advantage, a 2-0 round. I mean, obviously advantage in itself it is, but what I mean to say by that is it's not exactly a cemented advantage that they're going to be able to keep. The first gun round will be a true test to see, if Argo are remaining on this pedestal, are remaining on this first place. But the start is what matters. Like I said, always, every start matters, because if you are able to keep the emotions high and under control in that sense, and you are able to keep the high mental aspect of this game, you are going to have an upper hand, no matter how you want to spin it. And in this case, Endpoint, just coming off the victory of a 2-0, I would guarantee that they're very much hyped. They're very much ready to take this fight. But I would also say they might be at times overconfident, a little bit cocky, I could even say. And that's the one thing that Argo might be counting on. Let's find out, I guess, for ourselves. This, ooh la la. Not a bad round, actually.
Yeah, decent damage out of Surreal at least to pick up a couple of kills. But yeah, like you said, Argo definitely can prey upon the momentum of Endpoint. And yeah, you put it pretty perfectly. The cockiness out of the UK boys, especially in that sort of environment, is going to run true. And if Ago can sort of knock the wind out of the sails early, almost like Spirit did in that sort of second and third map of Simon in that best of 3 where they were able to ride out, that is where things were starting to get, or can get real interesting here for the Ago boys. It's crucial again, though, that we'll start to hit the mark early. A nice entry down that A ramp, something that we saw a lot when they played against Singularity, but using that to good effect again. And they pick off MHL as well, who is that AWP player for that T side. AWP now picked up by Oscarish. That was what I was thinking as well, with the fact that Oscarish was a secondary, or was a primary AWPer actually, back at the early inception of the XCOM squad.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he was the primary AWPer at one point, so, you know, it's definitely interesting seeing him take up the mantle once more. I wouldn't say primary per se exactly, but it's nice to have him switch out his position once in a while. He was, I could say, you know, you could see the frustration in his eyes when he was playing still back a while, where even he lost his IGL role as the squad decided to strip it away from him. And he even, I believe he said it himself, you know, he wanted to take a bit of a step back from IGLing. But I think he adds a very good flavor to the game, to the rounds, and should be considered always for options. Grubby and Oscarish, though, from a 2-on-5 now goes into a 2-on-3. This challenge, 30 seconds presented by Argo, could actually be met with little resistance if they fail again. Mighty Max, yep, there's the fall as Argo somehow, somewhere, Grubby and Oscarish find a few vital frags, and it's at least a return for the better. Robin, I think, saves the day in this case.
Yeah, a kill that really had to be made. Going to be able to put that bomb down potentially inside of that smoke, but Robin saving the day yet again. A 3K, or 2K, sorry, for the man himself, as that will get the round already done and dusted. Endpoint putting a first on the board, keeping that CT side at least off the mark so far. A little bit of a slow start for some, but it is starting to get better now as they get their first round. Rebuy to come from Ago, of course. They do have money in the bank for that. But again, both of these sides now in a little bit of a sticky situation. Whoever loses this one, unfortunately, is down to that full eco. Round loss bonus being reset across the board here. Crucial chance to strike. Not going to get it this time. And a faster approach by Ago. They'll take over a short already. The flashbang's good enough. Fiku, there's the first. Damage done for a second as well. And no rotate, but no commit either from Ago. They send Fiku in, sort of sold him down the river, unfortunately. A little bit of a sort of, not a bait, but definitely a bit of miscommunication, that's for certain. That leaves half the team tagged up by nades, with no real profit out of it either. There we go, finally. MHL to shut down Mighty Max, but it's the position of Robin that might give them a lifeline.
Well, he's going to have to perform in order to give them that, but yes, certainly the option will be there. Thomas, he's looking for a refrag. He's looking to instill a little bit of fear in Ago, and he's certainly doing so successfully. He's able to, you know, pick up the slack a little bit, able to force them into a defensive stance, yet right now failing that shot, and Robin peeking out wide, and not even wide, but just enough to show himself to Grubby's scope. It will cement the position of Ago at 4-1, and not just that, it's another eco for Endpoint following this, meaning that 5-1 will not be escaping their grasp. Ah, this is unfortunate enough for Endpoint, but there's a lesson to be learned here, and that lesson is, again, try to be perhaps at times a little bit more well-minded or well-constructed for what comes next, right? You were facing Singularity that were more, I don't want to say willy-nilly free, but definitely playing a little less structured, a little bit less prepared. Compared to Ago. As for Ago, this is going to be 5 men hitting together continuously, with the exception of Grubby or sometimes Furlan, or maybe even Oscarish going off on a bit of a rampant lurk. But that's about it. The rest, they're going to be working as a unit. And unfortunate enough that Endpoint, if they don't realize this soon enough, they won't know what hit them before it's too late.
It's real interesting to think with this Ago squad right now that you can actually call them most likely the top 1 squad in Poland at the moment. If you look at the teams that you've got right now in the scene, obviously Exvertus Pro have disbanded. Illuminar have picked up obviously Snacks and Veggie from that squad. been able to revitalize their roster. But again, we've seen very little out of them. They're playing, I think, a couple of online events like we are at the moment. But again, there is, Furlan, beautiful spam takes out Crucial. But obviously, like Aggro right now, it's weird to say that, like, obviously 6 months ago they were on trials, like sort of trialing 25 plus players to find the right pick, and then now you can actually look at them and say that they probably are the top one performing squad in Poland at the moment. You've got Pack that are sitting behind, but again, obviously Vizsla aren't doing too much at the moment. XVP are gone, VP are gone in the Polish space, so Argo do have the chance to really take that top spot, and it seems like they are performing well, especially picking up the two, obviously, of Oscarish and Fiku to put them into the main squad. And the fact that they've taken that leap of faith to sort of double up to a 7-man squad and rotate every couple of months.
I mean, you know, I think we haven't really discussed this directly, but when it comes to multiple man rosters, I'm not exactly for that, because CS is about 5 people and the coach. And, you know, maybe you have some other people inputting, you know, onto your work and such. But for the majority of the part, it's 5 people working together in unison, in tandem, making sure it works. And having any more than that usually just creates more chaos and distraction, and just overall, I feel like it's not the best of choices, because the more you separate a player from playing with the 4, the less chances you have of him finding his route, finding his position, and actually being successful in it. And, you know, 7 players for Ago on the roster, it's like, sure, but when are the 2 that are not actively playing gonna actually have a chance to play, right? When you think about it. Because if you're gonna be, you know, weird enough to change out players every single game, okay, maybe that gives you a small tactical advantage, but within a month, or even less, I dare say, any team that is worth its metal will be easily able to read what you do, even with changes to your roster, and that's where your weakness will show. The changes of the roster will be more of a weakness than anything else, because it will unwillingly show the mistakes of more players together, and, you know, how it can work against you. And, well, this time, Ago, with the entry secured. Back to the game, of course. They seem to be a little bit more patient. They're not looking for a quick delivery, but they're going to have to make a choice soon enough.
Yeah, an incredibly slow round so far from Ago. 22 seconds on the clock and no commit yet. Robin missing his mark on that initial shot, though. Bomb is going to go down. Oscar is setting the plant ready, gets himself into the close corner as well. Damage being inflicted as Surreal and Robin both being tagged. There's the wraparound from Fiku on the flank. He only gets 1, but look at the position of Oscarish, getting outside the map, using that little ledge to his advantage. And that is already going to see Endpoint running for that save. 6-1 on the board. And you can see Ago, they are much more of a test than what that Singularity roster was for the Endpoint boys now. You can see this squad is actually gelling together really nice. It seems that Oscarish and Fiku as well have actually settled in very nicely to this squad. And obviously, like you said, with a 7-man roster, if you look at the 2 on the bench, or on the quote-unquote backup, as whatever Ago call it, you've got Sydney and Leman, both of which, if you compare them man-to-man with Oscarish and Fiku, they're not as powerful performers, I'd say. So I have a feeling that Ago, in a couple of months, will just sort of sell those on to, you know, whichever free agent roster will buy them, essentially, and we'll just move back down to that 5-man squad. But again, it's an interesting project, and it's nice to see teams experimenting, but Ago seems to be working out nicely for them so far, with 6 on that T side already, setting a good little precedence to start this game off with. Lovely nade down the ramp, though. Oscar is taking a big chunk of damage there. Same for Furlan as well. Ooh, that smoke from MHL, though, going to give no victim to Mighty Max. He'll get taken out. Good little entry, and gives Ago that freedom to maneuver yet again. And you can see with Endpoint here, the complete stark difference right now is that they're having to be the ones that look for the refrags. It was not like that back in the Singularity game. They were sitting easy breeze through these rounds, but it is completely different now.
Something I guess we did mention in the previous series is how the smoke on ramp can be abused from either side, but the advantage does go to the T lower because you have the background that is more radiant, and whoever comes into vision is easily visible on the outline, and that's why whoever challenges the angle as such is at a great bigger risk than anything else. And yeah, MHL, he was ready for the pick. He knew where the opponent was, or at least where he usually picks, and that's simply that. It was a very textbook play. But let's see this A-take attempt. It's so far not really working out. Robin and Surreal, finally a little bit of life coming out of them. A 2-on-2 retake, though, will have to be successful if they wish to win this round. Robin finds one. Furlan, though, holding the line, and it's not enough as Surreal locks it out.
Nearly got a nice little transfer there, Furlan, but not able to bring it to fruition. Endpoint getting themselves round number 2 here. Able to pick up that AWP as well, which will be transferred on to Crucial. So a nice little escape there for him. Doesn't have to spend all that necessary economy. Aggo, of course, back onto the rebuy. They've got the funds to keep this going. There's that T side straight back into the AWP. Full rifles, full utility as well. And again, are just looking to break the cycle of Endpoint. They win this round, and they will reset them back down onto yet another eco. A chance to push for round number 8. Crucial again, though. There's the man himself getting those entry kills. That is exactly what he was doing against Singularity, and will continue to do so. Max there to chime in with some further damage, and a very quick 5-on-3 that might just see Endpoint picking up a little bit of the slack here in this first half.
Ooh, well, might be able to pick up a little bit of the slack. 2v4 though. I wouldn't count Grubby and Oscarish out just yet. Since we've seen them perform with Warsaws before, luckily enough the Crucial is finally connecting the dots, and there is the final tag. 3rd point for Endpoint as they get themselves onto that slow but steady roll onto a tie. The boat has sailed at least, so it's not sinking anymore, or at least it's not docked and waiting for approval. It's slowly underway.
Yeah, good little ride.
Yeah.
And then eco as well. So Aggo finally been bankrupt. Oh, they're going to try the run boost, actually.
Oh.
It does work out for Groovy.
No.
Typically, we see a couple of teams miss that opportunity, drop down to their death, perhaps, but not this time. Again, Surreal. It is like we are watching the Singularity demo. He is just dipping and diving on that close right corner again. Looking to use his prowess on that side, but it's Groovy this time that's able to capitalize on that. Maybe something that their coach picked up on at the start of the series, but ooh, Thomas, there he is. Catches himself. That little bit of a refrag makes it into a 4-on-3. Should be giving Endpoint round number 4, although Fiku, the man himself, the Eagle headshot onto Crucial, wipes out the AWP. Oh, will they expect this boost, though? Yeah, of course they won't. Robin good for 1, but not for a second. Again, and this is still open for business, and even so, the amount of damage that Endpoint have done in an eco round like this to take out 3 weapons of that CT side, they are going to be struggling no matter what after this round.
I mean, this round is so wide open, it could still end up going in the way for Aggo. That's the scary part. And as you said, even if it goes the way of Endpoint, even if they are able to win, which they should, given the circumstances, it's a heavy, heavy loss they've paid, or a price they paid for this victory. But slow round. 15 seconds. A lot of time ticked as the CTs seem to have a bit of a different stance in mind. This might not actually work too well. Mighty Max, that nade, maximum damage.
Oh.
There's the kill. Beautiful stuff.
Wise enough from Oscarish, though, to go for a little wraparound. It might just work out. He gets the one onto Thomas. The headshot clean enough. Down onto the M4, though, but yeah, Max using the positioning well on top of that smoke gives him that little bit of a one-way, perhaps, and, well, there we go. 4 on the board for Endpoint. Seems like he was trying to maybe scounder an AWP at the end of that round, but nothing to be picked up there to close it out. Nevertheless, though, 6-4, and this is at least Endpoint making a couple of rounds back. Now, Aggo, they will be able to reinvest, of course, into this one. We'll get that full buy, and most likely we'll get MHL posted onto that AWP as well. Of course they will. Going to be allowing him to pick up that sniper, the full utility on every other player with those rifles, of course. And you can see Endpoint still keeping that MP9 in play, unfortunately. So there is a little bit of a limitation, but Crucial, again, is going to be looking for that ramp play. See if he can give any sort of entries to Endpoint. He's burning incredibly in the Molotov. Yeah, Thomas, very well primed molly there to deal some damage already. And again, it's Fiku that's either playing solo on his own accord or has been sent down the river, unfortunately. But look at Max here. Oh, he could be the denier. No.
It's the thing is, with that kind of play, you need a pop flash. You really do need a pop flash. And when the smoke fades, you're now faced with 4 guys with AKs against your puny little MP9. Boomich might be a strong weapon, but it's still only an MP9. And Thomas, is he going to be checked? This is the vital mistake usually the T's do. They don't check sandbags or cement more specifically. MHL, the refrag was there, but Crucial already with the crucial damage. It's down to MHL. A 1-on-3, even with time on his side. This round should be going the way for Endpoint. And yeah, this is much better than what we started with. Endpoint is at least finding themselves great success.
Yeah, able to pull this back into round number 5, and most likely 6 to come as well. No bomb plant means very little cash. They will get at least a little bit off of the round loss bonus, but again, not particularly going to be stacking them too high, unfortunately. And, well, that is going to see Endpoint sadly... Oh, sorry, Ago sadly down to an eco here. MHL. 20 seconds on the clock. A lot of time to be trying to save this AWP. It seems like, fortunately, Endpoint don't really want to hunt too heavily, so aren't going to be trying to put that pressure on to deny him. But nevertheless, saving just a single AWP is not going to change too much in terms of the round itself. Either way, though, a lovely little play from Crucial that sort of saved it, but kept them afloat. I go, yeah, tactical timeout. I think it's kind of necessary here at this point. Just take a couple of seconds to adjust into this setup. They'll know that 6 rounds is sort of the minimum that they'll need to be hitting, but for a squad like this, you'd want to be making sure that they get that sort of 7th to 8th on the board just for that security purpose. We know that Endpoint were a very dominant force on the T side of their own, so that's something that they've got to be aware of moving into that second half. But Endpoint, the fact that they were down, 5-1 and have made it 6-5 now, this is a real good comeback, making this first half a lot more competitive. It's pretty much emulating the start of the first half against Singularity.
Yeah, they really are. And, we know how that ended, so maybe there is something to it, definitely. Endpoint, as I said, it's going to be about team play. It's going to be about working together, and they are proving to be a capable force in that sense. Surreal, again, alone towards B. He did play some amazing moments against, of course, Singularity. Yet he did screw up a few times as well. Robin, tagged up when he was jumping mid. MHL, he's so deadly with his op. Somehow hits all the flicks and all the shots. And Surreal, again, predicting the peak from lower edge. Yet he seems to be acutely aware there's a chance this could be a B execution, which actually will be from Ago.
Yeah. Very, very wise so far here from the read of Endpoint. Typically it is Surreal that plays kind of solo on this B-bomb site with Thomas as that rotation man, but read into this well enough to know that it requires the second man and the third as well. A lovely little gap in the smoke by Surreal, though. There's his first of the round so far. Great damage. MHL able to pick him back off, though. Trade it back. The boost, though, way too overpowered. Good for 2 there from Thomas. And that will see Ago getting absolutely nothing out of it. Mighty Max to shut down Fiku. MHL, is he going to get the timing? No, Crucial.
Does he check the corner?
Just allowed to sneak on by. They might even walk past each other here. I think MHL might be acutely aware. No, he's not. Okay.
Oh.
Ring around the rosy here for these two. None of them going to spot each other. Might actually walk into each other now, though.
No way. He's going to see him now, surely.
Oh,
yeah.
MHL just getting away with at least a freebie, but Robin, he says no to that one. 6-6 scores are tied. Not even a full buy is available here for MHL, so it's going to be most likely someone like Fiku or Oscarish to drop out an AWP and a rifle in return. But nevertheless, Endpoint tying the scoreline at a pretty crucial point in the half right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty important round indeed. No op for MHL, which I think is quite an encumbrance. They are going to have issues trying to take down Crucial, although he has missed a few shots in the past. So let's see if he's going to be finally connecting in this case. And what I mean in the past is in this first half, of course. Ago, classic ramp take. A lot of players committed to that point, looking like they want to really just go for the A straight execution. The set piece being prepared, and they're taking a lot of time though. They are truly biding their moment, if we can say so. Thomas, does he wide angle this? Because if he does, there's a chance he dies. Never mind, Thomas! He does die, but the damage is quite severe and quite properly traded out.
Finally gets away with 2 there. Still alive for now as well. Seems like, okay, there we go. The HUD taking a little bit of a hit again there. Crucial just stuck into cement as he is on the back of there. Still, though, gets a tag onto Fiku. Aware of the position as well there, Crucial. Finds himself a second and maybe looking for more as well. Trying to hit the wall bangs or connect a further shot, and still he's allowed to sit behind this smoke. Oh, gets one more as well. Endpoint. They are turning up where it is so much required. They mean to put on the afterburners for these final few rounds of the first half. Again, it is Ago that will see the economic dip in this round. And look at this from Thomas. Just got the timing. Could have even lined up Oscarish if he was a little slow to react, but 2 kills was enough, and it sees Ago down onto an eco. A chance for Endpoint themselves to swipe away victory in the first half. Something that actually they weren't able to do against Singularity back in the in one of those games at least. But again, it is just a show of their power so far here. And Mighty Max Fiku getting some good trades though at least, but so far so good. Bomb will go down. A 3-on-2 retake though. This is still up for debate right now.
It is indeed. With Fiku on the op though, I wouldn't trust all the shots will be as accurate as they should be. Grubby will be caught on the flank. That's vital. They have a flank of their own coming in behind. It could be... He doesn't see him in the smoke. Or at least on the angle. This is super vital. Robin sees MHL. Excuse me. He sees MHL, and Fiku will be caught on the flank. Now back onto a one-on-one as MHL is still alive. Does he knife? No, he's missing the knife. He hits on the head, but he's not going to be
the bottom of the smoke as well.
Oh my god, yeah. He could have seen that.
Do we have a replay of that?
Yeah, I would have loved to see that, because it felt like he, okay, he misses a few shots, but as soon as he misses the shots, he goes to knife in the same area he missed the shots at. It's like, But that will be 8-6 as Endpoint take the lead. And not just the lead, but salvage a very, very important round for themselves.
Especially against Singularity when they were only able to get 7. They've now doubled or extended that lead further this time. Fiku, good little catch onto Crucial. They are able to get that early kill on the board, but again, Endpoint, they've pulled it back from positions like this already here. Endpoint just trying to transition into what could be a very successful 9th round for them. Surreal, he can pretty much rely on the rest of his team to rotate toward this A site now. He's got the stairs control, so there is no pressing at all from Ago on the other side of the map. All 5 actually situated toward this A bomb site. No one really holding flank either in a sort of depthy manner, so the Real can just fully commit to the rotate here, and they will be absolutely fine. Thomas inside of that stacked position there, going to go for a bit of a spam. The bomb actually not being planted yet. Fiku burned alive at the helm of Thomas here, and as that bomb goes down, it is the 4-on-4. No flank to worry about from Ago, but it's always going to be in the back of their minds. And Robin catching out Oscarish. Here's now where the retake will come. MHL forced to sit in the corner with very limited vision. Robin escapes by the skin of his teeth. It's Thomas actually to take out MHL, and a 4-on-2 as that smoke goes down on the bomb. This gets incredibly difficult.
And it will be cleaned up by Endpoint. They successfully put themselves up to 9-6 on the half, and not just that, they salvage pretty much a perfect end of the half with, what, 8 rounds in a row being picked up? Yeah, this is textbook play, CT side for Endpoint. They successfully pull out a defense that we haven't really seen against Singularity even. And we can see that Ago started off so strong at one single moment. For a second there, you know, you would think that Ago are just gonna finish this map with great success, a potential 11-4, you know, something like that half, and all goes to hell when Endpoint have had enough. And I perhaps do feel a little bit worried here moving into the second half, given that the British have themselves quite the extensive T-side repertoire.
Yeah, the fact they were able to limit Singularity to just a single 3 rounds on that CT side of Vertigo, picking up 9 of their own, which of course would be way too, well, plenty enough to close out this game themselves, only needing 7, of course, to be able to win out here. 3 of which could even be gained by the pistol round and the couple of ecos afterwards if they do look out here. But Furlan going to be playing early. Doesn't matter, though, because Garubi, for some reason, got way too aggressive. Surreal able to capitalize on that. Look where Garubi ended up. Dies in the middle of that passageway toward B stairs. He gives himself right up here. Fiku, though, he is going to try and get a little bit sneaky. Going to be coming around the back lines of mid. But he is going to be offered absolutely nothing. Look at the way that Endpoint is sat right now, so passively. They've got to be aware, though, that with all 5 players grouped up into mid, potentially there is a flank on the cards. They have determined now that it is the A site. Fiku has plenty of footstep sound to convey that sort of information, but crucial, he's already there for the refrag. As long as they don't overextend, they'll be fine to face and let Fiku do his job behind, because they can get the bomb down and protect that bomb site in the afterplan.
Well, Furlan shouldn't have died, though, that quickly. Luckily enough, Fiku, like you said, still delivering, still able to be a nuisance in the backside, a pain in the back. As the Robin finally shuts it out, it's Oskarish to return. This challenge to be presented by Ago is met fiercely by Endpoint's own. And Oskarish, the angle is favorable as he gets the headshot. Robin now having to fight this battle with 15 HP. Every single bullet counts, every single shot will count, and unfortunate enough that Oskarish will be the one to make it. 9-7 as Ago pick up the second pistol. The tide's not yet turned, but the start of the half is what matters here for Ago. Like I said before, if they have a decent start, there's a chance this could go very quickly in their favor. Although Endpoint, you know, equally so, their T side is not to be trifled with, and above all else, they were so successful with the 9-6 half that they shouldn't be feeling too uncomfortable by that loss.
Yeah, especially now with Ago picking up that full buy, of course. Endpoint, they know they've got the bomb plant down. They can buy into the next. No stress at all. The Fiku, lovely little spam at least. Does manage to open up the early round entry with the spam through the smoke. Makes it a quick 5-on-4 with no real damage transition by Endpoint themselves. This should be giving Ago at least the opportunity to pull this scoreline very, very close. Robin, good little shot onto. He actually gets himself at least a frag to play with. The Rio just pins it inside of this corner. No one looking to really extend or challenge as of yet, though. And with 1:05 on the clock, if they can pick themselves up a potential weapon off the ground, no, Fiku is watching that with very prying eyes. Does not want to give that up. They'll know there's a crossfire already set up, though. Surreal getting ready to round that corner. Gets across safely, actually. Goes for the re-swing. Thomas able to trade one back. The damage is done onto Fiku as well. He could fall. Yes, he does. And down to a 3-on-2. Do not tell me Ago sacrifice a round like this.
That would be a damn shame, and Oskarish is holding the line, and he will hold it strong and the mighty. Saving the day, the triple and the hat-trick to pull it off. 9-8 as Ago divert almost a disaster in this case. As, yeah, the loss of Fiku was pretty much the cement that Ago couldn't carry any longer. Because if Oskarish just gets the one frag, it's all of a sudden a turn of events that even the best might not have a chance to retake. And full buy. Endpoint, SG's out, AK's out. This is where it comes to. This is where it's going to be decided who takes the cake, who again takes the advantage. Endpoint, do they keep it and double it so on to 10? Or, well, double it, at least increase it to 10. Or do Ago actually tie it together and start to chip away at the mental fortitude of Endpoint?
Yeah, Vertigo is a map that Ago have got a decent win percentage on as well. They're currently on a 3-win streak on that one as well, but haven't played it since the 11th of March, so quite a couple of weeks ago now. They did have their previous roster of Sydney and Le Mans as well in there, so seems like oh, Robin, let's just deviate a second, finds a double lineup. Ruby and MHL trying to do something funky inside of mid, does not work in the slightest here. Endpoint bagging themselves a very good 5-on-2 advantage, or 5-on-3 advantage. Or should we say Robin doing the majority of the head work here. 45 seconds on the clock, and it seems like Endpoint, they are calm and collected right now. No need to fully commit to this as of yet. Surreal going to be trying to lurk his way in toward the B-bomb site. Oscar is the only man of defense here in that position. As soon as they go to cross, could be in a bit of trouble. There's the trade that they needed. A 4-on-2 that might just be forcing Ago into the save. They'll spot out an extra man. Furlan does get away with a 1, but the grenade... insult to injury. It's going to be FQ last man here.
He had a kit on his right. I'm not sure why he wouldn't pick that up. I guess he didn't even notice. Sees the guy on default backside, but he's not going to check close enough. He does, but it still doesn't matter. Mighty Max, he was well prepared for the refrag. And Endpoint, well, I guess they'll be the ones to take the cake. In that case, 10 rounds on the board gives them ample opportunity to start shutting down the economy of Ago. They've already done so successfully. The force buy not in was meaning to say not in full effect yet. It should be. I mean, they did go, or they did get reset almost fully in this case, Ago that is. So we'll be seeing double eco rounds with a few pistols in this case to try and kind of mitigate a little bit of the aggression of Endpoint at least.
Yeah, and at least in a somewhat of a fighting spot with pistols on the board, they can definitely put up a bit of a challenge, let's say, but this should most likely be Endpoint taking themselves round number 11, extending this T side, and again, once proving that they are going to be into a nice little setup on this T side, again, beginning to limit what these guys can do in terms of the overall outcome when it comes to it. Endpoint, though, as long as they can come out of this one with 4 or 5 players kept alive, do not want to be submitting any weapons to the eco of Ago here. That's not what they want to be doing. I mean, there is only Furlan on Kevlar, but it is more the value of the weapons they've got. They realize, though, that they most likely are walking into a pretty free A bomb site here. Ago choosing to stack out towards B. They'll get the plant, realize there's been no challenge whatsoever, and it's essentially a free round as soon as that bomb does go down here. So 11 almost confirmed for the Endpoint side, and again, it is their T side that is starting to pop off really nicely currently, obviously with the 9-6 at the end of the first half, and currently with what 2 rounds on the board so far. It is starting to generate yet again, but Ago, they need a couple of gun rounds in here, or else Endpoint, like we saw against Singularity, they'll find themselves in that 13-8, 14-8, fighting for their deficit very, very quickly.
Definitely going to have to pick up the speed. They're going to have to start racing against Endpoint because there's a slight chance this is going to be a landslide and it's going to go very much the way of Endpoint. Money is not a problem for Endpoint. Ago don't really have an answer yet. Like I said, double eco has to come in through. There will be pistols and there will be pistols and utilities to be had. Maybe they can, maybe they can make a little bit of a dent on the side of Endpoint. They could even win this round. I'm not gonna say, there's no point, there's no chance yet. I feel like Endpoint is too smart to let this one go. They themselves are well aware of the opportunity they've just gained here.
Especially to extend the lead when Ago do have yet another pistol buy in their hands, so they can get up to 12 and again just keep pushing this ever further. Ago will find themselves into a little bit of a difficult position. I mean, this being the Endpoint map pick, they can close this one out. It at least gives them that insurance policy. Looking at Train, it is a little bit up and down. 27% out of 11 games. I think that's like 3 out of 11 won, so again, it's not particularly too great, of course. Thomas, though, nice little entry. Back in the early kill. Fiku caught in the crossfire. Thomas Dink, but able to transfer the kill. Should be a very simple round from here on out. A 5-on-3 with, no Kevlar on the board. Limited utility. No defuse kit. As soon as they just transpire those kills, it should be round over pretty much. And Endpoint on 12 before the rebuy of Aggo. That is where they'll start to worry, especially if they lose that next gun round. Crucial lands the spam, nearly lands 2 through the smoke as well. Having a little fun with his food there. But nevertheless, it is a simple round to say the least. And Endpoint only needing 4 more, 2 of which would unfortunately be ecos on the hand of Aggo. So it is the gun round next that they really have to make count.
I think it's going to be coming down to MHL's op skills. Well, op shots. If he's going to be able to, again, have some amazing flicks like against... well, actually, not like against Singularity. That was actually crucial. Which, I should say, was or has been a little bit quiet in the second map on Dust. But Aggo and MHL go hand in hand. And let's see this buy here right now. No op. Just rifles, fair enough. Kit's already going to be missing as far as I can tell. You see the instant replay here, the spray through that smoke on the edge of Crane, and of course Crucial just providing crucial support. Pun intended. But yeah, no kit. I would actually... Oh, Oscarish has 300, meaning that one less flash, or one flash less, and he would have had that, at least one kit, which I think it's still super pertinent to this current position they're in.
Yeah, you would have just liked to have seen a kit on there, especially when flashbangs, they're not, you know, too essential really on a CT slide. A couple of them is all that is really necessary. It's the kit that just alleviates that little bit of time pressure. 5 seconds in a bomb plant doesn't seem like a lot, but it could mean pretty much everything in the terms of a round like this. But again, you can see Endpoint very slow to be making any move here on this T side, and you can see just how comprehensive they're looking to be right now. There's no challenge at all. Nice little crossfire inside of mid by Aggo, though. Window being watched, and Furlan close on the corner if necessary. Great Molotov, though, forcing out the first. Robin, he knows of the second. Surely going to get the trade. No, finally do, though. Crucial able to at least keep it into a 3-on-3. That man on the B bomb site, though, or A bomb site, sorry. It's Mighty Max trying to worm his way in. Oh, he could get a brilliant flank here, though, actually. Could draw the rest of the players out towards A if they can boost over, or at least just fall back and do something. Mighty Max, though, is he going to get red? That's the question. No, he's not. He's going to look for more, though. Oh, he spots out 2. That could win the round. I think it will.
Well, I was, meaning to say surely Aggo are well aware of a potential flank, and then a split second later, Mighty Max grabs 2 kills for free. Surreal shuts down the last man standing, and that should be effectively the 14th round confirmed, basically, for this second half. There's not really a way out for Aggo, unfortunately. The last one on the 14th is where the fate will be decided of Aggo for our first map, and luckily enough, it's not their map pick, but Endpoint's.
Yeah, thankfully, if this would have been a sort of repeat on train, or at least just an unfortunate occurrence, then that would have been a big problem. Ooh, Crucial does allow the bait and switch, gives them enough time to allow for the push. Furlan going to get himself away with an AWP, a real good return. There we go, making it 2. Able to ensure ultimate retrieval of that AWP more than anything. Kills a Nika round, not massive, but again, that AWP out of the hands is much better. But guaranteed 14-8. An Endpoint living true to their name, reaching that endpoint of the first map here. Vertigo again seeming like it is a good map for us at the moment. Or for them at the moment. A minute on the clock. They'll take over that A bomb site. Couple of simple smokes down to allow that bomb plant. Nade over the top. MHL, not even surprised that he's going for this sort of kamikaze play. Thought he was going to rattle off a few shots. Could have even landed there with the low HP of Mighty Max. But nevertheless, though, bomb is down. Should be a simple shutdown here for Endpoint. 2 more. And they will close out map number 1, getting it in their back pockets, heading into the map pick of Train. But it's again another real, very impressive T-side performance from Endpoint. They are seeming to be more competent on their T-side than CT at the moment, which is really nice to see.
It really is, isn't it? It shows they have learned from their past mistakes. It shows that you know, they are starting to improve on the go, which is a big plus, a big bonus. And against Singularity, they had actually more trouble finding their way in the rounds themselves rather than anything else, right? They were still fighting on all accounts, and if I recall correctly, they lost like 4 rounds against Singularity, something like that. Might have been 5, on the top of my head. I think it was 4, but point being is, it felt like they had a tougher challenge, basically. Even though I expected Ago to be the one to prove to be a tougher challenge.
Oh, for certain, yeah. Ago, they were definitely should have been coming into this as the contender to close down Endpoint in a map like this. Good little couple of entries. Crucial does manage to at least return one. Oh, he's going to just kamikaze through the Molotov. Hit that shot and he might have been the hero, but unfortunately not the case this time. Oscarish able to close him down and give that easy advantage over to Ago this time. Going to go for the boost at least. Give Thomas a little bit of vision while Max rotates over. Potentially gives him a little bit of an extra avenue of attack, perhaps. But it looks like Ago will be able to land at least round number 9. I mean, fortunately for Endpoint, they have no issues whatsoever when it comes down to economy. So there is no way that they cannot afford the rebuy going into the next round. Any further damage would be perfect. If they can wipe out a couple of extra players here, it would be great. Although MHL getting the job done on that one. Closes down both as well. And gives at least the 9th on to Ago. Again, a single round away from double digits, but it's still going to be a challenge. There is still that money lacking for Groovy, so has to rebuy. And of course, we'll see them down limited yet again. 14-9. Endpoint looking to again guarantee that 15th, lock in their overtime security here on Vertigo. Essentially, it's got to be a couple of rounds in a row for Ago to build it up. They are still economically damaged here. They lose this one, and it still poses a similar threat. And Crucial, that same angle that he's been using all night, once again becomes a nuisance for Ago. It's a great entry.
It is. It gives them a great upper hand. Furlan, with him out of the question now, very weak defense of B. Grubby and Oscarish will be the one to... Excuse me, Grubby and Fico will be the one to provide it, and whoever dies first, unfortunate enough that the second better deliver. Fiku, that was actually perfect. With a double, the trade is quite effectively the same, and in this kind of position, Ago could easily still hold on to their dear panties. And Grubby, I like the way he's being posted towards short, yet this is a very linear position to be in, and yeah, he's gonna get the hell out of there. He knows that if he gets caught out of the smoke range, or in the smoke range, he will be isolated and easily taken out. But the reply is quite imminent. Ago, ooh, that boost could work. Never mind, Crucial, the spot! He was ready for it. They anticipate that, and with 37 seconds, more than enough time on the clock for Endpoint to still play this safe. Grubby, though, the spray! My lord, this is turning out to be quite the wild round, and Grubby, there we go! And that's why you survive. That's why you have to stay alive. That's why you play it smart. Ago, 10th point. 10th round. They're not giving this one up that easily.
Definitely not able to bag double digits at least. That reply from Fiku kickstarting the run of play here. With Endpoint now starting to face a little bit of damage of their own here, with the fact that this is, of course, the last buy that they'll have before an eco. Again, it does mean that we'll have to be picking this one up. Again, it is that angle. They have to stop peeking that. Crucial. Dude. He is just going to keep punishing if they give him the chance. Surreal's already got an entry down to B. Mighty Max takes out Fiku. MHL is still tagged. This is a big problem.
A huge issue. I'm not even sure how Ago can remedy this without going aggressively and taking matters into their own hands effectively. With MHL low HP, one bullet, one stray, just a little bit of a scratch and he's gone. At Endpoint, they have all the time in this world to decide where they want to end this round at. I wouldn't even be surprised if they go back the way they came towards B, although that's not going to be happening. It does feel like they are actually preparing for the commitment here. Berlin. They're already close range to the site itself, so at least MHL is not completely alone. But not exactly in a great position either. Here we go.
He's setting up for this execution. MHL. Actually, if they launched a nade over that wood, MHL would find himself splattered against the wall there. Thankfully, he does swap positions with a player of higher health. 25 on the clock, though. Smoked perfectly to block off MHL's vision. Furlan a little bit trapped in the corner, though. That will bode a little bit of a threat. Yeah, Surreal taking him down with ease. MHL trying to pop off a couple of shots. They do have to get this bomb planted, though. That is the issue they were facing, but it's not even going to matter. They're going to sacrifice the round anyway here, Ago. A 5-on-2, of course, is not going to be possible in the slightest. Not with MHL down on 16. And they'll just go for the save instead. I mean, thankfully, these two can drop out weapons for the final 3. I mean, at least 2 of them. Unfortunately, the money is gone for everybody apart from the final 2 remaining, so they are in a bit of a pickle, but it's 15 on the board for Endpoint. They lock themselves into overtime security, and most importantly, give Ago just a real big headache coming into the potential final round when they've just got to force up this rebuy. It is going to be quite scrappy.
Well, the lucky part is with 2 players surviving, they do have themselves a few rifles they can work with, even maybe one more additional alongside everything else. So a full equipped team? Yep, it will be a fully equipped team. Sure enough, there will be a few lackluster utilities around the base, but better than nothing. Everybody has a kit as well, which is a nice little surprise on top of things. 15-10 though. Ago now 1 away from being absolutely dismantled. Not necessarily destroyed, but definitely dismantled for the first map. As Endpoint is proving to be too tough of a cookie to crack. Bit of a preemptive reaction. I like the way Ago is playing, though. I really gotta say that I enjoy watching them because they are trying to... They're trying to push themselves to the limits, right? They're always going for an early entry. They realize that they do need to take the matters into their own hands. But it seems like it's still failing them on a few parts. And no, oh, dude, I was just about to say, don't peek, don't challenge. You know, the smoke just deployed on the other side from where you're peeking. Why the hell would you ever want to peek that angle? It's like you're walking into a death trap.
Thankfully not going to transpire. Mighty Max, though, the reaction, okay. Lands onto Furlan inside a deep mid. It was a nice idea. It would have worked. Not this time. 40 seconds on the clock. Surreal again. Spots in the corner. Oscarish dead this time. No rotate whatsoever. The site has been lost, and unfortunately, I think the round with it as well. MHL does strike back, but it's worth it for the info. Crucial's there. Knows there's a second man beyond that box of quads as well, unfortunately. And with the final 2 coming in, I think that might just draw close on it. Thomas going to be playing up close and personal, but that is it. That is 16-10, unless MHL can go massive. And of course, that is not the case.
There you have it, folks. It is going to be Endpoint with their first map, Vertigo, in their hands.